Yeah. On any of the.
Okay, that's what time is
Just verify we are live.
still waiting. How's everything, Ally?
Good. How are you doing?
Everything's coming along real good.
Glad to hear.
And how are you all doing?
Doing great.
That's good. That's good.
And Sue, Dave will be joining today via phone number. So if you see a Milwaukee area code, that will be him to admit.
The Green Bay Packer man.
I'm really, yes.
He was sick.
I think Emma might call in too, just to kind of listen into the public session,
Okay.
not the executive.
She has the links.
She
I
does,
should see
yeah,
her
so-
pop up.
I
Yeah.
think she was planning on.
Okay. So we're ready.
Okay, I want to call this meeting to order of the Public School Retirement System of the City of St. Louis. Board of Trustee meeting, April the 21st, 2025 at 4:33 p.m. We're going to take a roll call vote.
Dr. Candace Carter Oliver,
Here. Yes.
Christina Bennett, Lewis Cross,
Present.
Emily Hubbard,
Here.
Shanice Johnson,
Present.
Kimberly Johnson Miller,
Present.
Yvette Levy, Jennifer Orr.
She's on.
Joined, yeah, she just joined. Bobby Richardson,
Present.
Albert Sanders,
Here.
Doris Walker,
Present.
and then Miss Orr, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, present.
All right, great. So we have 9, so
Nine.
we have a quorum.
Okay. Welcome, everyone, and we have a quorum, so we're going to start with the approval of the minutes of the last meeting, Board of Trustee regular meeting on February the 24th, 2025. Can I get a motion to accept that?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to accept the February 2024-25 meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, that passes. Okay, and then we'll go to the seating of new members. We have Dr. Candace Carter Oliver and Ms. Kimberly Johnson Miller, who were appointed by the St. Louis Public Schools Board of Education. And we want to welcome them at this time and thank you all for coming aboard. And we are very, very happy to have you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. And you all have both been assigned to co-chairs of a committee. And we can go over that a little bit later, Sue. All right, reading of communications of the Board of Trustees.
Can I ask a question about the seating?
Yes,
Are those just normal seating, open seating from the St. Louis Board of Education?
there were, I'll let you explain it, Sue.
Okay, yeah, we had 2 resignations, but yes, they were 2 appointees from the Board of Education. Angie Banks retired and she decided to resign from the board. And then Sadie Weiss also had been appointed by the Board of Education and she resigned. They both happened about the same time.
You know,
Okay, thank you.
currently we have 4 appointed board members from the St. Louis Public Schools by the charter. And then the other 7 members. I'm sorry. Who was that? Was that Christine? Okay.
I'm
we
at
have-
school still, so you're gonna hear walkie-talkie.
Oh, I see. All right, so we have 4 appointed by the St. Louis Public Schools, and then we have 7 by election. So that makes up our 11 members. Okay, presentations by interested parties. We have any of that, Sue?
I don't think.
All right, consent agenda approval of retirement and benefits for March and April of 2025. There a motion to approve that?
Yes, I would like to make a motion for the approval of the retirements and benefit March and April 2025.
And a second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, the ayes have it. Okay, approval of refunds and bills February and March of 2025. Is there a motion to approve?
Yes, I would like to make a motion for the approval of refunds and bills February and March 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, the ayes have it. Okay, unfinished business, Sue, we have any? No unfinished business. Report of the chairperson. You all possibly received some, a text message from me concerning the, status of the bill, in the, on the House side, and, we did get approval of that.
I think, we'll talk about that.
We'll-
The attorneys.
we'll talk about that
Yes,
a little bit later.
movement.
Yeah, the attorneys will basically address that whole process, but things are looking very well, thanks to Ali and Hush Blackwell and Sue and the whole, and everyone that has done wonderful things to make this possible. You know, we've come a long way in a very, very short period of time. Again, we want to welcome our two new board members. And that is the end of my report at this time. Next, we'll have report of the executive director.
Thank you, Chairman Cross. Just a few items that I wanted to comment on. The conference schedule was included in that office update report in tab 4. So I will send out a separate email that I want everybody to be thinking about conferences that they might want to attend. Particularly if you're interested in going to that NAS conference, that's in early June. So we want to get those registrations in as soon as possible. So we've got several conferences during the summer. So would just encourage the trustees, if they're interested, to kind of look at the schedule and think what might work for you to attend. There is a requirement for current trustees to have 2 hours of continuing education. So, you know, attending one of these conferences would certainly get that to you. We do try to have some continuing ed sessions here at different meetings or separate meetings, but I think the trustees in the past have enjoyed going to these conferences. There's a lot of education that's shared there. So I'll send out an email here this week and just ask everyone to let me know which conferences you're thinking of attending. How that works is the system would submit registration and pay for the registration for the attendees that are going. But then each trustee is responsible then for making their own travel arrangements, hotel, airfare, and then we reimburse that. There's also the ability to request an advance up front before traveling, but I'll send out that information along with the 2025 travel voucher. So just wanted to remind everybody we have those conferences coming up. The other item that I wanted to mention in my report is that our website has recently been redesigned and updated. It's been at least 10 years since the website has been updated. And so last year we had some technical work that needed to be done. And in the process of that, we saw that we needed to make some other changes to the website. So I do have in your packet there the site, if anybody wants to visit that site. If you have any questions after you go there, let me know. But hopefully it's a little more streamlined, a little bit easier for people to find their way around. I just wanted to call attention to that website, our website update. All right, so then the next item, my part of the report is I wanted to introduce, we have Anders here. They are our audit firm. So we have actually live in the boardroom with us, we have Jeannie D and Raven Lawhorn here. And then we have Emma Everhart, who is virtual with us this afternoon. So they are going to go through the audit report and financial statements. So.
Excellent. Thank you all. I appreciate the opportunity to come here and talk with you. Thank you for the opportunity to continue working with the system on the annual financial statement audit. Again, my name is Jeannie D. I'm a partner at Anders CPAs and Advisors. Raven Lawhorn served as the manager on the audit engagement, and Emma Eberhardt served as the in-charge senior auditor. This team's been in place for quite a few years. We have a lot of good familiarity and understanding of how the system works, how it operates, how transactions are recorded, the things that we need to look at during the course of our audit. I'm not going to go through all 49 pages. We know major corporations that don't have 49-page reports. The reason you have so many pages is because it's a governmental entity. There's a lot of disclosure requirements and so forth. So I'm going to hit on a few highlights for you all, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. And then we have a couple of points to make to the committee or to the board in executive session. So, and Sue has entrusted me to maneuver this.
And you can also.
Can I click it, or do I just
use the mouse
Okay.
if you want to go like several pages ahead?
Yeah, let me just do that. So bear with me for just a moment. Can I scroll?
Yeah, to
Oh,
the,
but I can go.
yeah, you see on the right, however you're most comfortable, but.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna
Right.
take you down a couple pages. I'm gonna start with the independent auditor's report. So this is our work product, whereas everything else you see in the financial statements is really the representations of the system to its external constituents. And while my firm assists you in the preparation of all of that with our templates and using the tables and putting everything together for you, it really is your work product. So our work product is really just the 2-page letter that goes on top of the other 49 pages. The most important part of this is probably the second paragraph where it's in the opinion. This is where we state that in our opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects the fiduciary net position of the system as of December 31, 2024 and 2023, and the changes in fiduciary net position in accordance with GAAP accounting, generally accepted accounting principles in the United States. We refer to this as an unmodified opinion. It means it's a clean audit opinion. It's the highest type of opinion that an organization like the system can receive from its external accountants. And so I do wish to congratulate you on that. What it means is really there are no material departures from GAAP accounting rules in your financial statements. And it also means we had no problems or issues with the scope of our audit work. In other words, we could perform all the tests and procedures we needed to under our standards to be able to get to this opinion. So again, that's the highest type of opinion you can expect to receive. And that'll be very, very important in the summer when you apply for the Center of Excellence certificate in your governmental reporting. So that one of the requirements is that you have an unmodified opinion on your financial statements. Rather than going through the rest of the report, I will say there have been no significant changes from prior year's reports. We use a lot of template language here. We are independent of the entity under our professional standards. So that's important. And I've already mentioned that they're your financial statements. So ultimately, it's the responsibility of management and ultimately the board of directors for the financial statements themselves. There's a couple of other pages in the opinion that detail the work or the responsibilities of the auditor. I do want to briefly touch on a few points here. We do maintain skepticism and professional judgment throughout the course of our audit. And we don't test 100% of everything. We use a risk-based approach. Sue and the team might feel like we're testing 100% of a lot of things. As we're going through, we ask a lot of questions. We look at a lot of documentation. But we use a risk-based approach, and that means that we look for the areas in your financial accounting and reporting framework that might be more susceptible to risk of misstatement. And that's where we hone in additional extra procedures. And that may change from year to year. In fact, this year, because of the changeover to the new custodian, and because of some internal changes with personnel, we found that we were looking deeper at some other areas maybe than we would have in previous years. So it does change from year to year based on our risk assessment. We also do not give you an opinion about the effectiveness of your internal controls, and that's really important. We never have in the past. It's very common in this type of audit. We do look at your internal control structure, but the purpose of that is to design our own tests and procedures accordingly. So that's not changed from prior years, but I think it's important to note that we are not giving you an opinion about that effectiveness. We are, from time to time, making some recommendations, some observations that we think are important to you and best practices that we see for systems of this size. We are looking at the appropriateness of your accounting policies, the reasonableness of all of your estimates, the overall presentation of your financial statements. We have a number of communication matters to send to you throughout the course of the audit or to Sue, and we've done that. And the last couple of paragraphs have to do with some of the other materials beyond just the basic financial statements that you see, things like the management discussion and analysis that's presented, some of the supplementary schedules. So we have to tell the reader what, if any, assurance we're providing on all of that. So this is very, very common, and it has not changed from prior years. And so you'll see that we did put a little placeholder date in here, folks. That's going to change. It will be dated probably sometime this week when we get the final representation letter. Let me stop for a moment and see if anyone has any questions about the audit report itself.
I would only just add that I thought it was great that we had an unmodified opinion, you know, that came through. So that's a good thing. I did read through the recommendations or / maybe findings. And I did have some questions about the reconciliations, you know, process or how often, or if we need to do anything relative to staffing. But if those conversations have been had and with Sue, you know, Sue will know, you know, what things we may need to put in place to strengthen some of those internal controls. But outside of that, I thought it was a good, you know, report. And, you know, I think Sue and the team should be pleased overall. So
Yeah, we were going to ask to join your executive session for just a few brief comments. But maybe to your point, we did issue our auditor's correspondence to those charged with governance, which also details some of the more qualitative aspects of the audit. I'm very proud to report that we had no disagreements with anyone in management or any significant difficulties in working through our audit. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but thank you for that. And I agree, we can't get to this clean opinion without a lot of help and work from Sue and the team here at the office. So I agree that they should be commended on a clean audit report. If you don't mind, I just put it briefly, and you know, this information is going back a couple of months, but just to sort of make sure everyone is aware where you ended the year of fiscal 24, calendar 24. I got to come up a couple pages. That's a sensitive mouse. Okay. So as a reminder, we have your balance sheet. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the MD&A. I got to go down here to, I'm going to make you dizzy. Let me get to. So the statement of fiduciary net position is the snapshot that measures all of the assets, liabilities, and debts, and the fund balance of the entire system at that moment in time, at December 31st of 2024 compared to 2023. So we ended at total assets of about 878, just under 879 million. When you look at all of the investments, some receivables, some cash, we've got a little bit of property and equipment as well. There's a mezzanine section, they call it, for some deferred outflows and resources of pensions. That's sort of normal. There's normal fluctuations in that. Liabilities about 1.9 million, which is basically some accounts payable and a little bit of net pension liability. And then our overall net position, which is 877 million. Now, obviously, I get some questions about, you know, post year end, the markets have started to have some more wild fluctuations. That is already contemplated in your footnotes disclosures that basically say, hey, we're invested heavily. Most of this is in investment funds. They're going to go and they're going to change with market fluctuations. Nothing in that post year end would warrant any additional comments in the audit or warning of the reader about subsequent events, anything like that. Even though we haven't issued the audit yet, we don't see anything to go past what is already contemplated in your risk and uncertainties disclosures in your footnotes to your financials. And then the income statement kind of shows you how you got there. In the year of 2024, you had basic additions of 69 million, just under 70 or 69.8. You had your investment gains on the year. And so for total net additions of 142 million. And then the deductions that were paid primarily in benefits, 103 million, and other miscellaneous deductions totaling 114. So the increase in net position was 28 million on that calendar year. And you can see comparatively to 2023 of about 31 million. That's going to fluctuate up or down, primarily depending on what the investment returns are. I'm sorry, do you want me to hit this button?
Yeah, if you could
Okay,
let
sorry
her
about
in,
that.
thank you.
Yes, indeed. So I think that's all I really wanted to focus on in this session of our report, unless there's any other questions, and then we will stick around for a few minutes to briefly comment in executive session. Okay. I don't know what to do, Sue, so I'm gonna give all this back to you before I mess it up.
Okay. We done, Sue?
That would conclude my report.
Okay, then we'll move on to the report of the investment consultant, and there is none, right?
There is none. That's right.
Okay, everybody was, we had our investment committee meeting Thursday. Report of the actuary, there is no report for that. Okay, and report of committees of the board benefits, trustee Shanice Johnson and trustee Emily Hubbard, you have a report?
We do. Emily, you gonna take it?
I think you should. I'll do it next time.
Okay, that's fine. Hello, Dr. Levy.
All right. Renewals are being negotiated for the two voluntary plans that we have, which is the MetLife prepaid legal and the Allstate identity theft protection plans. Allstate included some enhancements to their plan for a 4-year renewal at no increase in the premium. MetLife is offering a 2-year renewal with no change in the premium. And then, as we mentioned at the last meeting, the RFP process for the Medicare Advantage and Vision plans will start next month, and the results will be presented at the August meeting. So that is the report of the Benefits Committee.
All right, thank you, trustee Johnson and Hubbard. Okay, we'll move on to trustee business with trustee Jennifer Orr and trustee Kimberly Johnson Miller. We have a report at this time. I know you're new, Kimberly, so but anyway, do we have a report in that? And also trustee Orr, I know you all are new, so I guess right now we'll just, do you all have anything to say or?
I do not, as I'm new. I'm gonna get this passed on this time, and I'll defer to trustee Orr. But I promise you at our next meeting, I will have something to report.
Okay, all right. So trustee Orr, you have anything to add? Okay, we'll move on to investment committee with trustee Christina Bennett and trustee Dr. Albert Sanders. Any report?
We have to, according to what's on the screen, as everybody can see, we have to approve a rebalancing presented by Mariner and recommended by the investment committee, presented by Mariner, so we can balance our asset allocations. So can somebody read that
Okay,
motion for me?
okay, trustee Kimberly, can you read that for us, that recommendation?
Rebalancing, to approve the rebalancing plan for the proposed target asset allocation as presented by investment consultant Mariner and recommended by the investment committee.
Is there a second?
Shanice Johnson, second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. So we'll have a roll call vote.
Yeah, unless there's other discussion.
Any other discussion? I'm sorry. Any other discussion? Third time, any other discussion? Okay, roll call.
Dr. Candace Carter Oliver,
Is she on mute?
Here, yes.
Okay,
Lois Cross,
yes.
Emily Hubbard,
Yes.
Shanice Johnson,
Yes.
Kimberly Johnson Miller,
Yes.
Yvette Levy,
Yes.
Jennifer Orr,
He stepped away, I guess.
she there?
I did, Trustee Orr, are you there? Okay, maybe she stepped away.
Bobby Richardson,
Yes.
Albert Sanders,
Yes.
Doris Walker,
Yes.
and then Trustee Orr, just checking in. Okay, so we do have 9.
Okay,
The motion
the motion
carried.
carries. Okay, anything else, Dr. Sanders?
Sorry about that. I think that's it. Just come to our next committee meeting so we can see what happens in these over the next month with all the stuff that's going on.
Okay, thank you, thank you so much. Okay, we'll move on to legislative rules and regulations with Dr. Yvette Levy, principal as well, and Doris Walker. You all have a report.
Dr. Levy, do you have a report?
We do not.
Okay, all right, and then lastly, personnel and professional contracts. Trustee Bobby Richardson and Trustee Dr. Candace Carter Oliver have a report.
Yes, I would like to say tonight we will be presented with a proposed RFP tonight. So look out, everybody. We got some good information.
Dr. Oliver, have anything to add? Okay. Okay then.
I'll share the document.
Okay, great.
Hang on.
I don't have, this is Dr. Carter Oliver. I don't have anything to add.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, so I just wanted to review this. This is the time of year that we typically go over this schedule and take a look. We've done a lot of RFPs, requests for proposals, in the last since 2021. So we've done 12 of them. So, but we have to keep that schedule ongoing. So I just wanted to share this and just kind of go over what is upcoming as well. So the first thing on the list is the most recent thing we did was our pension administration system that has been really started. Implementation has started, but that RFP was all of 2024. We started in April and stretched into really the fall. So that is ongoing now. We do have a couple RFPs for this year. The first one there on the list is for our audit firm. Believe it or not, we're at the end of the 3 years that we had. So we will be later this summer doing RFP for the audit firm, as we did 3 years ago as well. So that is one for this year. We have a couple that we will be doing next year, the actuarial firm and the investment consultant, along with our benefits consultant. So those, we have agreements in place with those firms for the next couple of years this year. And then next year we would work on RFPs for those as well. The next one is our technology firm, and that is one that we are proposing that we do RFP in 2027 with a start date of January of 2028. So the technology firm, they take care of all of the security of the system. They do a lot of work with all of our licenses and everything that we need to do to keep our platform secure. And so they are actually working with us on the pension administration system as well. So they have already been involved in discussions with setting up security for that. They have a deep knowledge of our system. They've been around since 2012. So we would propose having that RFP done after we go through the pension administration system. So also in 2027, we will proposing that our property manager, we have had them in place since January of 2023. We had another firm for many years prior. And so we did, as a result of an RFP, change providers, and we were very, very happy with property management firm. And so that is scheduled then for 2027. Custodian was another large RFP that we did along with help from Mariner. We did that in 2023, started implementation really throughout 2024. So we have a 5-year agreement with PNC Bank. And then our law firm is another one fairly recently, just about a year ago. Believe it or not, it's been a year. So we do have that in place for 5 years as well. And then we do have 2 others on our insurance side that we are doing RFPs for this year that are pretty important. The Medicare Advantage plan, we have about 2,000 members in that Medicare Advantage plan. So we had a 0 premium in place for 23 and 24. And then, due to some changes to the coverage from CMS, Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, that 0 premium was rolled back for 2025. So we are paying $50 a member. The system subsidizes that plan for up to $80 a member a month. So we are paying out kind of unexpectedly. We didn't think we were going to have premiums this year, but due to some changes in the funding and the coverage, United Healthcare was not able to sustain that 0 premium. So it's very important for us to go out and see what's going on in the market for this year. So we have our consultant, Gallagher, that is working on that for us, along with our vision insurance, that 4-year premium guarantee that is ending in 2025. So we need to look at that as well this year. So those 2, we will be kicking the RFP process off here pretty shortly for those 2 items. And then last year we did dental insurance. We had done RFP previously, and then the dental insurance we did last year for another 3 years, and pretty successful. We had just a 3% increase in those premiums, and again guaranteed for 3 years. So I've listed there just some additional vendors that we use, Specialty Mailing and Minuteman Press, to do some of our printing. We turned some of the newsletters and some other documents that we can do in-house. We do that, so it cuts down the cost. But Specialty Mailing helps us with the mailing of the newsletters, and they pick up our mail daily. Since our postal service delivery is kind of it's not real, it's gotten better, but we can't always count on someone being here every day. We always have mail every day, so we have Specialty picking up our mail. So we work with them, Specialty and Minuteman, as some other vendors. So I'll pause there and see if there are any questions.
I just have, I think maybe two or maybe one question and comment. It sounds like we have a in terms of what we look.
Say that again. You were breaking up, Doc.
Okay, let me do this. I was just commenting that it sounds like we have a cadence or a schedule in place by which we look at, reviews or go out for RFPs. So I think that that's a good thing, whether it's, every 3 years or 5 years, or sometimes it's maybe a year of anomaly and we need to go out for something. So it's good that that's happening. And then is Gallagher serving kind of like as a broker? Where they go out and kind of look at what options are available to us to ensure we're getting good premiums and the best rates possible. Is that synonymous, or am I not understanding that correctly?
No, that is absolutely what Gallagher does. So we do have Gallagher that serves on our insurance side. So they take care of, those RFPs that were listed there for Medicare Advantage, the vision and the dental. We also have the business side of Gallagher that we'll hear at the next meeting, that they do our workers' comp, our
Yes.
policies for liability for our building insurance, fiduciary crime. So they do that on the business side as well. So we have both sides of the Gallagher house. The nice thing about having a consultant like that is they have some bargaining power with these. So we can usually get, better deals than if we tried to do that on our own.
Absolutely. So that's good. That's good. We're working in that space and someone's, really just on our behalf, that way we're because we know all of that is steadily increasing. And so as those costs are going up, we really do need somebody that's helping us to get the best bang for our buck. So.
Yep. And I would like to add with Gallagher, I've had previous experience working with them, and they're a very, very good company that definitely looks out for their clients. They give the real true picture in terms of their liability insurance and what companies they recommend. And they recommend it in the benefit of the client, not just in the benefit of themselves as the broker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so they will present at the August meeting. We'll see the results of these two RFPs that are ongoing. So we, like I said, we're getting ready to kick those off, but we will have those presentations to the board in August. Probably have some updates maybe in June, but the big presentation in August.
I just had one question. When we go back to the pension system, I just want to be clear, the pension administration system, when we say in-house, does that mean we have our own in-house IT staff that's doing the implementation, or is that the name of the actual vendor?
Yeah, we have one individual in-house that is our technology manager, but we do have Blade is the outside firm that gives us all the tools that we need, and they support us with all of our licenses. We get our PCs through them. They set those PCs up, but we do have our technology manager who can do some things, but the majority of that work does go to Blade.
So when we're looking at the total cost, it's just a little over $3.1 million with the $850 budgeted for 25. I just want to understand the total cost. General includes what?
Oh, so I'm sorry, I misunderstood your question. So the top is the pension administration system. That's the system that we're working on right now. Right now, what we have in place is an in-house system that is our database for all of our members. So what we're doing is transitioning to an outside firm called LRS, and we're going to implement a product called Pension Gold. And so Pension Gold, the cost of that system, when it's fully implemented, which will be in 2027, that's what that total cost is.
Got it. So it's a transitioning of one financial sort of system into another system. That's where the total $3.1 million cost is coming into play.
Yeah, and it's really more a database for all of our members, to run our payroll, to produce our 1099s. And it will also have the ability for members to have self-service. So if they want to go onto the portal and say, well, how many years of service do I have? Or for a retiree, if they want to pull up their 1099, all of that will be available for them. So that's something we don't have right now. So it's going to be very, I mean, we're looking forward to it, but it's going to be a, pretty long implementation to get all of that in place.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I did have a question on the last page about the mail services and the other services. The printing services, is it just the reason why we don't have RFPs or we don't have any, I guess, formal contracts with them?
Yeah, I mean, there aren't a whole lot of vendors that do, we've used both Specialty and Minuteman for a long time. Their prices stay pretty reasonable. We really have come down from the printing quite a bit by producing the newsletters in-house. We save about 12,000 a year. So really all we're printing are, envelopes, letterhead, things like that. And then we have our open enrollment guide that we also produce, a few other documents. So we don't spend a lot with Minuteman Specialty. What they're doing is they're, running postage on those jobs that, such as the newsletter. So we'll send them the printed newsletters and then they will, fold and stuff it and then put the postage. So they're just passing on their postage cost to us, and then they do charge us a bit for, the services that they provide. So there aren't a lot of vendors that do that right now. I certainly, can do a little bit of digging and just see what I can come up with. I've done that a few years ago, but I can see what's out there now, and I can report back at the next meeting.
Sound good. Thank you, Ms. Sue.
You're very welcome.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll move on then.
Well, I've got
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I have all these things, so I want to put a motion up to.
That's right. I forgot about. And we did the rebalancing. Okay. Does someone want to read the motion for the RFP?
Is it to begin? Okay, to approve. I, Shanice Johnson, would like to make a motion to approve the proposed RFP schedule.
Second.
Okay, second by Trustee Walker. We'll do any discussion? Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Okay, we'll take a roll call vote.
Candace Carter Oliver,
Yes.
Lewis Cross.
Yes.
Emily Hubbard,
Yes.
Shanice Johnson,
Yes.
Kimberly Johnson Miller,
Yes.
Yvette Levy,
Yes.
Jennifer Orr,
Yes.
Bobby Richardson, Albert Sanders,
Yes.
Doris Walker.
Yes.
All right. So we do have nine. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we do have 9. The motion carries.
Okay, the motion carries. Anything else, Sue?
I don't think there's any other report from that today.
Okay. We're gonna, any new business? Okay. Okay, no new business, so then we will go into executive session for the report of the attorney. So someone can read the motion to go into closed session. Start over again. Okay, start over again. We couldn't hear you.
Nobody say anything. I make a motion to close the meeting and that all records and votes to the extent permitted by law pertaining to and or resulting from this closed meeting be closed under revised statutes, Missouri 610.021, 1 and 212, for the purpose of having confidential and privileged communication with the legal counsel for PSR, SSTL on legal matters.
Second.
Okay, second by Trustee Walker. Any discussion? Any discussion? Last time, any discussion? Okay, we'll take a roll call vote to go into executive session.
Candace Carter Oliver,
Yes.
Louis Cross.
Yes.
Emily Hubbard,
Yes.
So the payday
Chase
was
Johnson?
Yes.
181.
Kimberly Johnson Miller,
Yes.
So that had to be
Levy,
72. What is the audit? You know what I mean?
sorry, Yvette Levy,
Yes.
Jennifer Orr,
Yes.
Albert Sanders,
Yes.
Doris Walker.
Yes.
So again, we have 9, the motion carries. Skip me a minute. And Ally
Yes.
thing.
How is that, Sue?
Good to go, Sue?
I think so.
Okay.
Sue, as you're getting back on, I hope I ain't bothering you. Did I miss the dates of NASP? Or did you were gonna forward some more information?
Yeah, they're June 2nd through the 4th. It is in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
Okay.
It's on the back page of the package that we received, Albert.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay. For those of you all who wonder what we're talking about, those are the conferences that are available for travel in the summer. And those dates are in the packet. If you don't have any questions, you can call the office, but they are in the packet.
Okay.
We are live.
They're not just for travel, they're for education.
I see. Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Before you do that, Albert, take care of my great-granddaughter.
I will. You know, I told her, me and her have conversations, you know.
Okay.
Every once in a while. We have good, positive conversations.
Oh, that's good.
So
Okay.
I make a motion to end this amazing meeting on today. What is it? 4/21, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Bye.
Goodbye.
Hi. Thank you
See you.
all. Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
Participation.
Good night.
Good night. See you all next time.
Good night.
Good night. Okay.
All right. Another one down.
Another one down.